A billionaire offered to trade places with me in life, and it led to one of the greatest realizations I've ever had about life. So I'll tell you the backstory. So we're sitting in Chileno Bay in the jacuzzi in Cabo. So anyone who's been there, you know it's the spot to be. And I was chatting with this guy, and he had just flown down with his friends and family on a private jet because they were celebrating him selling his company for $900 million, so making him a billionaire. And we're talking about life, and he's asking about me. And at the time, I was 27 years old, and I'm telling him how I was just sort of at this impasse in life where I just left private equity, didn't really know what I was going to do with my life, sort of felt like I had this like fresh sheet of paper, this like blank start almost, where I got to create my life from scratch. And in hearing this, and after talking to me, he's like, you know what? I'll make you a trade. Let's do a life swap. You come into my life and I come into your life. And I was thinking about that. And this was the amazing realization that really changed how I lived life is who would have the better deal? Because what you think you want so badly is the private jet, the vacation homes, being a billionaire, right? But he has all that. And all he wanted was to be 27 years old and get to the chance to play the game of life again. It made me appreciate myself and change how I approach the game of life because I thought about it. Imagine if we were to do a full life swap. So this guy already went through his life. He already learned how to play the game and he got to come back to where I am. He got a second lease on life. Imagine how much differently you would play the game the second time around. Imagine if he came back as me. Or if you're your 65-year-old self and you get to come back to where you are today, how would you play the game differently? You would play the game so much more aggressively. You would simply just play to win. And I thought about it, and it's a great thought exercise too, because life is all just a big game. And not only are you the character in the game, you're also the player with the controller that controls the character. So think if someone were to come into your life, how would they be playing you differently? How would they be doing a better job with your character in the game of life? How would they be making a better life for themselves, for yourself, better than how you're doing? And if you think about it, what I really realized is it all comes down to aggression. It all comes down to confidence. It all comes down to taking risks. And it also comes down to better utilizing your skill set. You know, if you were to jump into my life, or if I were to jump into yours, you would figure out what's working for yourself and what isn't working for yourself. And you would just focus on what really works for yourself to maximize your strengths. And so think about if you got to be your 65-year-old self and come back to where you are now in life, how would you be playing yourself differently? And how much more would you enjoy the ride? And I realized I'm almost able to time travel from this, because I guaranteed myself of all the success in the world. I just simply made a decision that, and I know that I will have the private jet, the house in Cabo, the super yacht, the friends, the family, right? And it's the journey of going through all of it, the fun of making it all happen, that is the real reward. Because when you get everything that you ever want, you would be willing to give it all up just to come back to where you are today. And don't take it from me. Take it from billionaire oil tycooner and wildcatter T. Boone Pickens, who would always give these graduation speeches to these college students. And he would always make the same deal that this guy in the Chileno jacuzzi gave me, that they would do anything to trade places with us right now, because we are actually the ones living the dream. We're young and we get the greatest opportunity of all, which is to make something with our lives, to do something extraordinary with our lives, to play the game of life. So don't forget that the dream is living it, because one day you'd be willing to give it all up just to do it all over again. And I guarantee you, you're going to wish that you'd come back and enjoy it just a bit more. You wouldn't take it for granted. You'd enjoy everything. You'd be present. You'd laugh at the mistakes. You wouldn't take the rejections and the heartbreak and everything so personally. You'd be happier. You'd have more fun. You'd take more risks. You'd take more chances, and you'd enjoy the ride just a bit more. And so that's my goal for you today, to think about if you got a second chance to play the game of life, how else would you be playing it? How much better would you be playing it? And how much more would you enjoy it? Because it's a one-way ticket. I learned a great quote. It said, old or young, we're on our last cruise. We might as well learn to enjoy it.